Welcome back. Of course, it's about time for some Monday motivation for us, and we have Stephen Omojuigbe joining us via Skype. Hello, Stephen. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well, Gabriel. How you doing?
Excellent, excellent. Good to see you. It looks like you're looking relaxed and at home, not fully dressed in your usual three-piece suit and all of that. It's very good to see you. So how has been so how has been how has the lockdown been for you, being with your family and all of that?
Well, there's the good, there's the bad, there's the ugly. The good being that families can be together. I said somewhere that one of the big winners of COVID-19 is families. You know, the time we get to spend together is very precious. The bad, of course, is that we can't make money. You can't serve your constituencies, you cannot serve your customers, and that's not good for anyone. The ugly, of course, is the death we are seeing, the civil unrest that we are seeing. That's very ugly. So it's a mixture of the good, the bad, and the ugly.
I do understand what you mean. That there are many, especially with the unrest and people getting a bit restless. Like you said, because people are not able to make money, especially those who maybe on a daily basis they're surviving, living from hand to mouth. But today
Yes.
there are a few things you'd like to talk to us about. Of course, this is what you do on a daily basis, dealing with people who are going through various things, especially when it has to do with mental health, emotional health, or emotional well-being. And all of that. So talk to us. People are at home right now, and sometimes you're thinking through this whole process, and you're wondering, where do I start from? I have all these burdens on me. It's almost like you haven't made any money, but when you're coming out of the lockdown, you're being met by so many different responsibilities and bills, as it were, that have been waiting for you all this time. So where do we start from? Talk to us this morning.
So one of the things that is most important for anyone to realize right now is that what is going on out there is very much something you cannot control. But there is something you can control, because we have been given as human beings unique endowments that allows us to control certain things. And the most important thing you can control right now is your own state of mind. And the reason why it's important to control your state of mind is what I've always said, that all performance is state dependent. How you show up at any time to work, how you show up to your family, how you show up post-COVID crisis, how you show up on a daily basis, even during the crisis. It all depends on your internal state. And your internal state is what you can control. I always like to give the example of sportsmen. Sportsmen understand the importance of psychology, because at the highest level of sports, what differentiates the first place winner, the gold medalist in an Olympic Games final, and the bronze medalist is usually not a question of competence. Both of them are usually almost at the same level. What differentiates them on the day is their state of mind. What is going on in their mind, what is going on in their emotions, whether they are in the zone, whether they feel confident, whether they feel like they have all their powers available to them. What differentiates winners and losers on the day is your state. Now, for sportsmen, 10 seconds, 45 minutes, 90 minutes, it's over, you get the result. You see what your state has produced. But for us as human beings, we don't get the results immediately. But imagine what 10 years, 5 years, 1 year, 30 days of cumulative poor state of mind can do to someone's life. So the most important thing to realize right now is the fact that you can control what is going on in yourself, no matter how tough it is out there. People are dying, which is a sad, sad, sad thing. You cannot go out and do your business, which is unfortunate. You are locked at home and you're isolated from your friends. But in all this, because of the unique human endowment, we can still make choices what we think, and what we think will determine, of course, how we feel. And the combination of what we think and how we feel creates our state, and our state produces our performance.
Yeah, thank you so much for this. I mean, as a life coach, as a life coach, a performance coach, and all of that, during this period, I mean, it's been 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks now. What's the most common thing or common complaint or common challenge that you have heard from some of the people that you have had to talk to and had to counsel during this period? What are the most common things that you hear, or the most common fears about their states of mind and all of that that you have heard during this period, and how have you helped to counsel people?
It's interesting. I've been hearing different things. You've mentioned one, which is fear. People are afraid, and people are afraid of dying. You don't know who has virus. You don't know who doesn't have it. Well, it's important to know that you don't want to die before death comes, and you don't want to allow fear to control you. Another thing that I have found out is that people are actually addicted to activities, and it's strange that you find business people who say things like, I don't have time to work on strategy. I don't have time to rejig my business architecture and my business design. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for the intellectual work. People have been saying that for me for ages. But now they have all the time in their hands. They still cannot sit down and do some of these things. So there has been, which is one of the gains and the positive things that I'm taking out of this whole crisis, the ability to slow down. The pace at which many people live is not sustainable. And though this is not by design, but one of the collateral positivities and collateral benefits of this whole pandemic is it allows people to slow down. A lot of small business people, for example, they work as technical hands in their business. And their business requires that they step away from that business and do strategy work and do work around redesigning of their business, repositioning of their business. And these things they cannot do because they are addicted to activity. So activity addiction is one of the things we're having to deal with. Another thing we're having to deal with, which is very close to what I said earlier, which is fear, is uncertainty. There's no, till today, we don't even know the certainty of the science of the coronavirus. Is it airborne or is not airborne? Nobody knows. Is the temperature in Africa a mitigant against it or not? Nobody knows. When will the economy be unlocked? Nobody knows. Nobody knows anything. And in times of uncertainty, it's important that people learn to hold on to their identity. One thing that can be certain for you in all the uncertainty is who you are. So you want to begin to continue to say to yourself, I am ingenious. I am creative. Whatever may come, however this will pan out, I have the capacity within me to respond to it. I am capable of enduring. If we have to sit down at home for another 1 month, I will find the creative ability to maintain my family. All of these things are things you can control in the face of uncertainty and in the face of fear.
Wow, thank you so much. I mean, these are words that I'm sure that lots of us need, especially with this extra 2 weeks that was declared by the federal government just a few days ago. And so people, initially thought that, okay, the lockdown was coming to an end, and then another 2 weeks was added to it. And, so you talked about a lot of uncertainty that's going on now, and people focusing on what's important as opposed to dying before their death. So you're afraid of death, but that is not allowing you live your life. And as we round off, I mean, we have just about a minute left. I want you to, just from where you are, look at your screen and talk to people who are at home right now. So they've heard you and they're beginning to at least learn a thing or two. Just address, someone who maybe is facing some of these challenges, facing fear, a little bit of uncertainty, and they don't really know what to do. And probably even some people who have run out of money at this point. Just a few words of encouragement.
So I want to leave everybody with 3 critical strategies, 3 things you can do very quickly. Number 1, you have to understand that your narrative is more important than your circumstance. The spin, your story, the story you tell yourself about any situation, it's more important than the reality of the situation. 2 people can be in the same exact situation. One says that this is the end of my life. This one says that this is the beginning of a new vista and new opportunities in my life. The same circumstances, different narratives. And the narrative you have on the situation will eventually create your circumstance. The second thing that is very important to do at this time is to practice emotional distancing. Right now, we're practicing social distancing so that you don't catch the coronavirus. But more as important as it is to practice social distance, it's also important to practice emotional distancing. It's not all the negativity that is in the press that you must allow to come into your life. You have to emotionally distance yourself from certain things that will always bring you down. And I don't have time to get into how you can do that. But the third critical thing that everybody needs to do is to act and act and act and act. Gabriel, a lot of times when two people co-star in a romantic movie, you find them falling in love outside of the set. Why? Because action produces emotions. So the fact that they have acted that they were in love and they have had to do with each other things that lovers do create a feeling inside of them that make them fall in love outside the set. People must understand that emotions do not follow action. Actions do not follow emotions. Emotions actually follow the actions. So if you start acting like an empowered person. Start acting like a powerful person. Start acting like someone who has the answers. Start acting like someone who has the capacity to deal with whatever problem that comes. And what you will find out is that resources begin to rise within you. Because like I always say, people don't fail because they lack resources. People fail because they lack resourcefulness. There is a resourcefulness, an ingenuity in the soul of every human being that can rise to the situation right now. And if you allow yourself to believe what I'm saying and begin to act like it, you'll find those well of resources rising up within you, and you will have ideas of what to do practically to get you out of whatever situation you may find yourself in.
Wow, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Stephen Omojugbe, for joining us this morning. I feel encouraged myself, and I'm sure there's someone who is watching right now at home who is also feeling challenged and empowered. Quick break, and there's more on Wake Up Nigeria.